Hello and welcome to our panel of experts. Here I am with
Arturo Garcia.
Alejandro Ortega,
Marque Villaseñor.
and we're here to debate about if globalization is in retreat or not. Globalization is a phenomenon of the ever-growing flow between goods, people, and services, and between countries, as well as the internet and all these neoliberalism activities that give us the advantage in our worldwide community. It is thought that this phenomenon is in retreat or extinguishing because of many problems such as job loss, less flow between countries, and, for example, immigration. Starting for immigration, I'm here to talk about social and cultural aspects, and I think immigration is a pretty good problem to start with. For example, as I said, globalization is the flow between countries of goods, services, and people. Immigration, the problem with immigrants right now is that nobody wants them. All those walls that should be down for everyone to get in are starting to build up. For some countries are quite literal. For Trump is literally the violation of human rights of immigrants who want to get in or out of the country, keeping them in jails, and some mothers have lost their children because they're taken away by the authorities of the United States government, as well as in Europe. There's the
Separated families.
there's the Orient that's losing. There's war and everything, and for example, Switzerland and the Netherlands have made anti-immigration Paris that actually they don't accept immigrants anymore, like none. As well as Germany, there's I don't know the title very well, but it's a bestseller that made a huge impact, and Germany is considering as well being anti-immigrant.
Yeah.
What's your aspect?
Well, my aspect is technological.
How do you think this affects the immigrant problem?
Well, my aspect is technological. In my opinion, I think immigrants are suffering and benefiting from technology. They will benefit with the internet. People will support them. If they are having problems, social media sometimes helps them, but it can be like really bad sometimes. And talking about disadvantages, I would say that the wars are fought with technology from other countries. Big countries like China will give them weapons, or United States will give them weapons, and they will need to leave their country.
Okay, that's interesting. Marco, from your political aspect, what do you think about immigrant problems?
In the political aspect, immigration is really important, mainly because you can see it everywhere. For example, in Europe, you have France situation where people from France, from the government, don't want immigrants to come, especially from Africa and Arabic people, because they think they are terrorists. But if you see it in the political aspect, right here in our country, like Mexico, it's pretty obvious. People like in the US don't want us because we're gonna rob or something like that. And that's not true, but in some aspects, like for example, Venezuela, where in the political aspect where Maduro doesn't want like US intervention and people wanting to leave their country, it becomes a super important problem around the world.
Well, yeah, I think that's pretty interesting since Venezuela has this culture around it politically that it wants to grow, but and the government has this like almost tradition to repress the people in it, like since I remember.
But it's affecting like everyone else. Like in Latin America, like governments don't want those immigrants in their countries, same as they do in the US for Mexicans, because they think they're gonna rob, they're gonna affect their country, they're gonna affect their economy. But if you actually think about it, those immigrants, for example, in the U.S., are the base of the economy. They are the workers, they are the ones who are in the farms, they are the base of your economy.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Since you compare the immigrants from Europe to the Mexican ones, or the South American, but that goes to job loss. That people don't find jobs, and I'm pretty interested in knowing the political aspect about it, because Mexicans usually go to the United States searching a better life, searching a job for them to maintain a family there or here, or themselves. But there's always not finding a job here in Mexico.
Yeah, those problems are going to another country to find a job. It became really important in the past years. For example, the U.S. with China, it became an actual problem due to the immigration. Like the U.S. starts fighting with China because they don't want their products to come, because they want those jobs to be generated in the U.S. And that became a problem for the entire country and for the world, because those products that you buy from the U.S. that come from China are the ones who you are going to buy in stores. So those prices are gonna go up. You're gonna lose jobs, and mostly the people in the U.S. are gonna get jobs right now. But if you look at it up from the perspective of immigration, it's not helping anymore. Like getting those jobs just for the American ones is not gonna help your economy. It's not gonna help your country, because those people that come from another country are the base of your economy.
Or you mentioned a point there about United States taking a decision of making their own products or technology, and I'm pretty interested about if that decision was wise, technologically speaking. Since China is the main
Distributor.
and maker of these products, is it wise for United States to do that? Because globalization-wise, that's like closing a relation, that's interrupting the flow.
Well, in my opinion, I think they have the right to do whatever they want, but they will benefit from it. For example, China already has made a lot of products equal to what United States have done. For example, United States created WhatsApp, and in China they have another type of WhatsApp. They have another form of communicating. WeChat. Yeah, WeChat. And well, as you said before, you think that it is a problem that they made their own products, but I think it's a opportunity for everyone to have different products. For example, I think, well, if they created something in America, in China they will probably copy it. For example, also the Apple, they have a lot of copies of Apple products on China. They are the same basically.
I'm gonna stop you there, but that's a violation of the copyright.
Well, yeah.
Like, I know what you mean, but you probably didn't phrase it correctly. Maybe it's that if everyone did their products, there will be more distribution, since there will be more variety.
More variety, exactly.
Okay. That's what people say that affects a lot of countries, mostly United States and other countries, since United States is such a great influence. They say the influence about United States kills the culture in some countries. For example, like here in Mexico, they say that so many United States products, music, shows, movies, it's killing the culture of Mexico. But others say that it's just evolving it. That's the next step. That's just like, we have the influence from the United States, but how we take it is another thing. And that's how, personally, and from my expert opinion of my qualifications, Mexico is evolving from this influence. It's not becoming less, it's becoming more. There's cholos, there's rap from Mexicans. There's a lot of things that we have done ourselves. For example, political-wise, what do you think about the influence of United States in the Orient. Like, I know there has been a lot of influence there of the youngsters or the new generation that know about music, but there's like a taboo to it in the Middle Orient. But I don't know the political things there.
I believe that in the political aspect, both like U.S., Mexico are emerging and becoming one because we take a lot of what they have done and put it here in Mexico, like kind of like an aspect that they have already done, that they have already tested, that they know how it works, and bring it here to Mexico to implement it here and make it work. For example, like politics, like the United Nations, something that's
Okay.
worldwide, but it's based on the U.S. But we here in Mexico try to implement it to help people, like poor people, people have nothing, and that's a really cool way to have people from all over the world help each other. And here in Mexico, you have like
So it increments the flow between nations.
yeah,
And most importantly, it brings
it brings
Unity.
people
Together.
unity. Okay. So I want to touch situation, the problem about global warming. I think global warming is one huge problem our world has, and most of it's affected because of globalization. Like the Treaty of France was thanks to globalization that brought all those world leaders to France and signed. But the retreat of globalization is, for example, Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trump has given up in the contract, making it clearly that his beliefs were against
Global warming.
global warming,
Yeah.
and clearly it has been shown otherwise. However, from the globalization aspect that we're taking, how do we see global warming? For example, technology.
Well, technology. There's many things that we can see. For example, in social media, we have people taking action. For example, I don't know, have you seen the trash challenge? For example, well, that is like a big step for people to clean up or be more conscious about global warming and contamination.
It implements cleaning and helping the planet in a fun and interactive way, making it into our culture that we have to clean, we have to be
We have to
safe, we have to be one with our planet, right?
Yeah,
Right.
well, also technologically speaking, I would say that countries come together. We can, well, we are coming together to solve a problem. Sometimes other countries don't want to accept that problem, like United States, but we know it's a real problem, and we're facing it together. We, as a humanity, we need to face the problem together, come up with solutions, technologically speaking.
I think there's, like, for example, technology-wise, I think there's something about satellites or something like that that detect the green gas, something like that. I think so.
Well, I saw that that we are each.
If you want, you can think about it, and we
Yeah.
can go with Marco. Marco, what's politically-wise? I know there's a lot of friction there in the political aspect between Canada, France, and the United States. While climate change things, Canada is a great supporter and its neighbor to the United States. The United States is clearly not a believer of the problem, and France is the one that tries to implement it and wants for Trump to be part of it. But Trump has all these problems with other world leaders.
Yeah, when it comes to political in global warming and those kind of things, it's not facing its best years because we have like Donald Trump, who is not a great supporter of the environment, global warming. But we have also like Justin Tucker, the one from Canada, the Prime Minister, who supports the environment, supports everyone, because we all live in the same planet, we all breathe the exact same air, we all have the exact same oceans, and it's for everyone. We should take care of it, but it's not facing its best years. Like for example, the US, that getting out of Paris Agreement, that is not the best idea, but it's some political decisions that don't make a lot of sense, but they did.
Well, that's pretty interesting, actually. Well, culturally wise, yeah, you said our planet is one, and people. It was recently Planet Day. I don't know if you knew, but people have brought together to make bio, like it's good for the planet. Products that are good for the planet. For example, everybody now has the straws. They make products that disintegrate in the that used for compost. There's a lot of organizations now that help the planet. Like the change is going there,
Yeah.
but if not many people interact with the change, there's no way. Like for example, the UN said that in 30 years, if we don't make a change now, our planet will be a complete loss. There will be no way to turn back.
Yeah, there's a good way how political can join that part. Like if we have the government support that kind of stuff, at the end we're gonna have a monetary change, because if governments makes people actually taking care of their planet, like not their planet, like their home, something like that,
Yeah.
cleaning water, like cleaning the streets, not like getting trash in the streets.
However, and I want to be there just to make one point that's very important, and you can continue later. However, the UN says that it's not enough anymore. We have to pick bigger actions. We have to plant more trees. We have to go out to our communities and help and pick up trash. Not only our home. We have to go up and beyond of what we are. Well, the technology you wanted to.
Well, I want to say also that technologically speaking, you said that they're making a lot of products, but well, friendly environment, and well, that's a great point because everyone now, every country has to implement technological advances that are friendly environment. They need to.
And to make it sustainable.
Yeah, well,
Sustainable progress.
well, yeah, we need to, technological speaking, we should be able to have every product be friendly environment. Oh well.
Yeah, that's a good point to make. Like, there's a lot. For example, batteries. Batteries have a juice
Well,
inside them that contaminate a lot.
Acid.
And not acid example. Exactly. Not a lot of people know it, but when you throw away a battery, they make a lot of the damage. That's why there's special containers for batteries. Sorry, I interrupted you and then gave the points.
Yeah, I
you were
believe
saying.
that like government, like political people can join like some movement, like for example for ocean, to help clean the ocean. Like if they normally have money that people give them, like our donation, but if government actually taking part of those kind of movements and help them, it could be a really good way to actually help the planet in a faster way, because it's easier for a government to have a bigger amount of money to implement on those kind of causes.
Alright. Well, this was pretty fascinating. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time, but we thank you all for your attention and see you when we can.